I feel I got the speed over Canelo. I got the reach over him. He might got the size, the power. I got the better skills, boxing skills.
Would it be more of a cat and mouse? The reality is Canelo does put people out. From Kirkland to Amir Khan to just...
Don't do
obviously,
I'm just saying, man.
No, but he's not. Kovalev
was older. And he does. Don't get me wrong. He does have a lot of power, but all those guys that you name is not as skillful as me. I'm sorry. No disrespect.
To go to the 12th round, that's a mediocre mind. You need to put a good fight there and put great show, you know? You know what I mean?
Do you think Crawford will employ the same tactics to try and box?
I hope not. I hope not, because the people deserve.
He like me. He's not that big. You know, he heavy, but he not that big.
Right.
You know, and I was just like, all right. I'm laughing, but at the same time, it started hitting me like, all right, man, maybe he on to something. You know, and then I started sizing him up, and I'm like, all right, well, Canelo 5'7". You know, my arms long.
Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez had a fiery confrontation at Harry Reid International Airport in Las Vegas, the new host city for their highly anticipated showdown on September 13th. The two were originally scheduled to meet near the fight venue for a press conference promoting their blockbuster bout.
They talk all the crazy stuff about me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up weight and won. He went up and lost. You know, so let's not do that.
But tensions boiled over before they even got there. The altercation erupted when the fighters unexpectedly crossed paths at the airport, and things quickly spiraled out of control. But what unfolded at Harry Reid International Airport was anything but calm with the fight.
You know what I mean?
Do you think Crawford will employ the same tactics to try and box?
I hope not. I hope not, because the people deserve a good fight.
What do you make of the Crawford fight next?
Huh?
How excited are you for the Crawford fight?
I'm excited. I'm gonna enjoy this win and then wait till do it.
Between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez officially scheduled for September 13th in Las Vegas, anticipation was already sky high, but no one expected the spark to ignite at the airport itself.
It won't be like any other fight that he's fought recently, and it'd be a well-fought fight for both of us, I believe.
Any doubt in your mind that you beat him?
Of course I beat him. It ain't no doubt in my mind that I won't beat.
Crawford's crew and Canelo's camp were never meant to cross paths at the terminal. Both had separate travel itineraries and were headed to the city early for promotional obligation.
Fighter 147, who is smaller than Charlo. So no make sense when you guys say that right now. At the end of the day, I don't want to have credit.
Ahead of their blockbuster bout, however, a chance encounter at the baggage claim area set the stage for a combustible showdown as soon as the
Crawford. But you know, you never know. You never know in boxing. I'll go up and down and fight everybody out there. So it's possible. Why not? It's possible.
Other than the size difference and having to put on some weight, what challenges does Canelo pose once you guys get in there?
I don't know. I just think, you know, his punching power and his physical size is the only thing that I really have to worry about. But who knows? Once we get in the ring, we don't know how I'll handle his punching power, his size. I've been fighting.
Two entourages spotted each other across the terminal floor. Tensions flared. The calm atmosphere quickly transformed into chaos. It all began with shouting. Members of both camps started chanting their fighters' names, almost like tribal war. Cries echoed from one side, rang out just as loud from the other.
You know, I come to put a great show, but you know, to put a great show, you need both fighters. So, but at the end of the day, win is a win.
Are you frustrated with Williams' score?
Yeah, a little bit, but
What may have started as a simple show of support quickly turned confrontational. Members of each team began posturing, stepping closer, puffing their chests, throwing verbal jabs, and fueling the fire with every second. Within moments, both groups advanced toward one another, ignoring the presence of airport staff and onlookers. Security personnel were caught off guard by the sudden commotion.
You just come to, you can not win a fight like that, fighting like that. And he said, yeah, I'm sorry. You know, it's my first time and I just tried to put a good fight and I'm so sorry. That's fine.
What's your message to fighters who will fight you in the future? Obviously not Crawford, but with that kind of mindset, they just want to last the distance.
That's a mediocre mind. That's a mediocre mind because they come just to survive, to go to the 12th round. That's a mediocre mind. You need to put a good fight there and put.
Want this fight now?
Well, I've been wanting to fight. You know, I feel as if that's a legacy fight. I feel as if, you know, this is the biggest fight in boxing today. I feel like this fight right here is like the last of the Mohicans. You know, we both coming in an era where Floyd Mayweather was #1 pound for pound, Showtime, and HBO era, that type.
And before they could react, the two camps had collided. Pushing, shoving, and finger-pointing broke out. A scene more fitting for the ring than an airport terminal. Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez tried to step in, not to fight, but to de-escalate.
Well, every time I see him, he'd come and be like, Canelo.
You know, yeah, you know how Bill do it too, yeah.
Every time, I'd be like, man, come on, man.
Yeah.
So every time he say that, you know, I just be like gradually getting into like looking at like, okay. And he's not that big. You know, he heavy, but he's not that big.
Right.
You know, and I'm just like, all right. I'm laughing, but at the same time, it's...
Surprisingly, both fighters appeared to want to avoid a full-scale brawl, knowing that their actual showdown was still weeks away. Crawford was seen pushing back members of his team, demanding that cooler heads prevail. At the same time, Canelo moved swiftly between his guys, trying to create space and prevent the situation from exploding further.
I'm sorry for him, but he's boxing. He's boxing and you know, things happen.
Did you watch the fight?
Yeah, of course. It was the fight.
He was a good dancer.
Yeah.
Would you rather see him fight Gus Hay?
As they attempted to calm their respective camps, the two champions found themselves just feet away from each other. The tension between them was thick for a brief moment.
Hardcore boxing fans, they know Crawford can beat Canelo just like they knew Bud was going to beat Smith. It's real simple. Real simple. You just got to know boxing in order for you to be able to say that.
It seemed like even they might come to blows, their eyes locked. And the energy between them was electric, a mix of rivalry, pride, and restrained aggression. You could feel the unspoken words hanging in the air. It wasn't just about the teams anymore. This was personal, still.
Massive.
And you mentioned Floyd. Obviously, Floyd and Manny, a lot of people thought happened way after it should have happened. You guys are both in your prime right now. You guys are both two of the top 5 pound-for-pound fighters in boxing. This is the biggest fight in boxing right now.
Definitely, and that's what I've been saying. You know, you got two guys, top 3, pound for pound.
Despite the heated exchange and mounting adrenaline, both fighters knew better than to jeopardize the biggest payday of their careers, with handlers pulling them back.
Crawford, his composure going to be like the moment a punch lands on him from Canelo.
Are you kidding me? Take that question back.
Yeah, why?
Because you're talking about Crawford.
He's the weight classes.
He's the most composed guy. And what, you don't think he'll be prepared? You think it'll be a shock to him? No. He's already moved up 3 weight classes. So now you're talking 6, if you add on 3. Crawford has the ability to slow things down in the ring that very few...
And airport security finally stepping in to separate the camps. Crawford and Canelo disengaged. Each turned away with a final glance, intense, sharp, and full of meaning, before guiding their teams in opposite directions.
Timing is at a different level, just a whole different, dimension than anybody else. He sees things that other people don't see. So it's not just that he's quick and he's faster, but his timing is better because he's so calm that he sees something and he's just gonna catch you. Just a twitch of your muscle, whatever it is, where you're just...
What could have turned into an all-out melee ended as a tense standoff. No punches were thrown, but the psychological warfare had already begun.